how to make, or how I made, an entryway built-in. That doubles as a dog station. Let's get into it. I started with the corner unit. Using an offcut piece of walnut veneered ply-core ply, I cut 4 panels at 17 3/4 inches, or just longer than the depth of my sealable dog food container, and 2 smaller panels at 12.5 inches that were just wider than it. Then laminated 2 of the 17 3/4 inch panels to get the 2 side panels that would cover the container. Once the glue cured, I trimmed them down to size. Then cut a 50-degree angle to mirror the dog food container's opening. After that, I gave the 4 pieces that would make up the dog food container shell and base of the corner shelves a sand down. Before using pocket holes to connect them together. Of course, I accidentally sank a few incorrect recesses, but to adjust, lined up the panels in air to ensure the mistakes wouldn't affect the properly sunk pockets, then screwed them into place. After I had the shell together, I used another offcut to create the hinged opening. I cut a 12.5 inch piece down to 10 5/8 and added a 45-degree bevel on one of the 10 5/8 sides. Then did a test fit. Happy with the snug fit, I clamped the panel even tighter and used a 4/4 Forstner bit to drill the recesses for the oak pins that would act as the hinge for the door. With the base shell complete, I turned to the upper corner shelves. I ripped 2 panels, one at 13 inches by 9 3/4 and one at 13 by 9, as well as 2 9 by 9 panels. With the square panels, I marked a corner anchor point and used the router on a circle cutting jig with a straight gouge bit to create a rounded edge from one opposing corner to another. Then align the 2 larger rectangular panels before anchoring them together with countersunk screws. Once those were done, it was time to mount the rounded shelves with pocket holes. With all the ply created pieces ready, I ironed on the edge banding on every visible edge. To include the backer board for the coat hanger. Then sanded and trimmed all of the banding overhang. To give the dog food container shell a handle, I cut a recess into the bottom of the door panel that will later hold a piece of high quality pleather. With all the cuts complete, I gave these pieces a high grit sand down. Then finished them with a few layers of tung oil. Next, I turned to the coat hanger inspired by Tamar of 3x3 Customs live edge hanger piece, jointing, planing, and squaring a rough cut 5/4 piece of walnut. Then trimming it down to size and cutting out the outer edge anchor pieces. Before taking the interior piece that would later become the individual hook pieces and cutting a 35-degree bevel on one side and a 45-degree bevel on the other, leaving a slight uncut lip on both. Then cut this piece down to 2-inch pieces. Using a custom jig, I sunk a 4/4 inch hole through the bottom beveled corner of each piece. To connect and hinge all these pieces, I grabbed a 1/4 inch oak dowel, slathered it in Johnson's paste wax, and attempted to slide all the pieces into place, but ran into some issues. Instead, I decided to cut the dowel down to a little under the length of half the internal pieces plus the end piece and slide them into place. Then did the same with the other half, but cut the dowel a little longer to be able to connect the two. With the pieces in place, I tested out the hinged hook action. To give the coat hanger a cleaner connection to the rest of the built-in, I used the crosscut sled to cut oversized bevels on both edge pieces. Being careful not to cut all the way through and create an unsafe situation at the table saw, I used a pool saw to finish the bevel cut. Then sanded the aligned coat hanger pieces down.
Start it up.
And of course, finished with a few layers of tung oil. To actually mount the coat hanger, I had to create recesses in every other piece so I could screw them into the backer board. With all the pieces ready, it was time to slightly demo that weird half-wall corner.
This is lit.
Then, to anchor the backer board, I located and marked the studs on the half wall. I added adhesive to the back of the panel before using countersunk screws to really anchor it into place. Then I slid the corner unit into place. With that lined up, I got to installing the coat hanger.
Start it up.
I screwed every other piece in.
This is lit.
Then used super glue to add some pins to hide the screw heads. and gave the coat hanger one last round of finishing. To polish off the dog food container shell, I added the door pull by simply gluing the pleather to the backside of the door. And that's a wrap for the corner unit and coat hanger half of this project. Next time, I'll get into exactly how I put together the entryway bench and hidden dog bowl drawer. Until next time.